Welcome back to my little creative corner of the internet. And welcome to our 1-month sketchbook challenge for February. Let's dive into week 1, where I share with you my process and 7 ideas and tips to include into your sketchbook. The first big thing I always do in my sketchbooks is to draw something that you are very familiar with and that comes easy to you when creating. For me, it's always a kind of very simplified face or portrait, so that's what I'm creating here. Just start out with something that feels very natural and easy for yourself before you go on to more studies and things that are more challenging. I always like to start off my drawing process with a little bit of a win. And I would highly recommend to also include just some random things to warm up your hands while drawing. Here I decided to use a different medium with this paint pen to add some more interest to the spread. I always think it's so much fun and creative in a way to have different kind of mediums on one spread. It always makes the sketchbook spread more interesting. And here I decided to add those vines and the leaves to the sketchbook spread. How are you all guys doing? Are you joining me on the February Sketchbook Challenge, and are you having fun with the challenge so far? How is your process going? Let me know in the comments down below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. For the first week I did get quite a lot of pages done, and I'm really happy with that, but I feel like I also have to try and get even more pages complete in the new week now, and we will see. I will hopefully make another weekly check-in video next week, and also some more tips and ideas spreads. Here I'm just drawing one of my also regular go-to drawings, which is this coffee cup with the steam coming out. Now let's go on to another tip for the fear of the blank page, and that is to just start with gluing down some different papers onto the spread before starting your drawing or sketching process. For me, I here decided to use some old book pages as well as some old newspapers to just get rid of the blank page before starting sketching. I feel like this always adds so much interest to a spread and can really elevate a just simple portrait drawing like I did here. So I would highly recommend. And I feel like the most difficult part is always to come up with something and make the first marks onto the blank spread. And with this trick here, You have, like in the junk journal times, a page where you can start with thumbsing already on the page and a not so intimidated blank spread. So I would highly recommend. Now on to tip number 4, which is to repeat your drawing subject and make kind of a series of studies from one object. I feel like it always adds some interest to the spread if you can see a development in a way. Here I just decided to add some silly, funny, fast little drawings and make those faces a bit more abstract to see where this stylized version will lead us. You also don't need to do faces with all of that, and that's just something that comes very natural to me and is my go-to kind of cup of tea. You can also do something completely different for those challenges and the drawing practice. You could draw a landscape or a tree or some flowers or whatever comes to mind. Just drawing faces is kind of my go-to habit. That's why those kind of drawing exercises and the tips here are all done with faces in this week, but there's no need to make it a face. So if you don't feel very keen on drawing faces, just draw something different. Make an abstract drawing or rendering of something else. It doesn't have to be a face. It's your sketchbook. It's completely up to you what you want to put in it. Now let's get on to tip number 6, which is add text to your sketches. Add some writing, add some notes, or even just quotes like I did here. I always like to play around with a combination of text, textures, drawings. I feel like that adds so much more interest to a sketchbook spread. So you don't have to only draw in your sketchbook. Do whatever comes to mind. Like I already said, my sketchbook in a way is always kind of a art journal more type. That's why I love to include more text and quotes into the book as well. are you guys all doing? I'm really happy with how the Sketchbook Challenge is coming together so far, as it keeps me to create on a more daily basis, and that was exactly what I was going for, to keep the habit of having my sketchbook with me and creating something in it alive after the Junk Journal January Challenge. So I'm really happy with that. But currently I'm a bit worried that I don't get enough pages done, but we will see how week 2 is going to play out. I really hope I can ramp up my output for the new week to get a more success kind of feel about the challenge. At the moment I'm kind of not so sure if I will be able to complete the sketchbook in the months I have set myself to do so, but we will see how it goes. Here's my tip number 7 for today, which is to use a cohesive color palette for your spreads. For this kind of spread I decided to go with green for the pops of color that I have included, and here I just use a different shade of green to add those sparkles. I always feel like it makes the art piece and the spread more cohesive if the color palette is kind of in one family of colors, or also just one color with different shades. It makes it so much more cohesive and clean in the look, and I really enjoy that. Do you have some sketchbook tips you want to share with us that I haven't shared here yet? Then leave a comment down below to share them with me and all our fellow creatives. I would absolutely love to hear your go-to sketchbook ideas and tips. Let's make a little sketchbook tips collection in the comment section. Now for the final of this video, let's have a little flip through of how my sketchbook turns out so far after the first week. You will see some of those pages in some different videos very soon, but I thought I'd just share a little bit of a sneak peek of how the sketchbook is filling up after week 1. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope the tips are kind of helpful for you. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, a thumbs up would make me really happy, and if you want to join me on this creative adventure and many more creative adventures to come, hit the subscribe button down below. See you very soon. Happy creating!